right, it's time for the Thursday edition of Bucket Talks. Except for the fact it's trying to rain. So I'm staying here as long as I can, or until I get done, one or the other, I promise. Kind of really enjoyed this part of the experience, so I'm going to continue this. Okay, so having said that, I want to talk about, this is day 4, I'm talking about messaging. And so I want to pick up kind of where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about messaging your business, making sure that you aren't running out with the title of your company, but instead the value that you bring. And so I think about that a lot and how valuable that is. And I call that, we have a name for that, we call that marketing, okay? And marketing is when I let the public know the value that they're going to get from doing business with me. Whatever that value is, or however effective that is, it's the power of that messaging. And I had several comments yesterday for people who had said that they were rethinking messaging as a result of what I had talked about yesterday, which was really my intention for doing that. That's the reason why I gave you the information that I gave you. So today I want to talk about what that marketing journey looks like. And I'm going to use an interesting story to tell you about that. When I lived in Montana, my daughter and actually the best way to say that is my granddaughters came to visit and they brought my daughter. Which is really the way it happens after grandkids are born. And so my daughter brings her 2 daughters and we are going to go look at stuff around Montana, which there's no shortage of things to look at when you're in Montana. A lot of them look the same, but there's some really unique things. And we had seen a billboard that said, come visit the world's largest freshwater spring and the world's shortest river. And I thought, well, how cool is that? You know, you're going to see the world's largest freshwater spring and the world's shortest river in the same spot. That's got to be really, really cool. So we drive to Great Falls, Montana to see this amazing world's largest freshwater spring and shortest river. So we're driving up the road, and the closer that we get, we see more and more signs promoting these 2 things. And so the signs are telling us about what this experience is going to be like. Are you with me? That's the purpose of marketing, is to map out for you the experience going there. All right? And so as we get closer, more signs that we see, and then we see the visitor center. Wow, they have a visitor center for the world's largest freshwater spring and the world's shortest river. That's pretty cool. That's a promotion for the experience that you're about to have. Now, has the journal from Lewis and Clark, when they discovered that, matter of fact, William Clark said that this was the world's largest bubbler. I thought that was a cool title for a spring. And you get to see the journal entries that they had there and the river craft that they were using at the time. It's a pretty fascinating visitor center. I really enjoyed it. And then you take this little path and you go out the back of the building and you go down this path, and all the way along the way here, you know, you're getting signs about the flora and the fauna and all the stuff, the cool stuff that's on the way. And you're also getting told about this largest freshwater spring and shortest river. Next thing I know, the temperature around me has changed just a little bit. It's just a little bit cooler. It was a really hot day. It's just a little bit cooler, and I thought, And I look around and we are standing over the top of the shortest river, which is coming from the largest freshwater spring. And I looked at that and I went, wow, this is pretty interesting. There was a big build up to this thing. There was a lot of description about the journey. And when we got there, hey, Andy, hey, Betty, Tyler, everybody else has joined. I appreciate you coming on. And so I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, this is what marketing is all about. Tells you what you're going to get, gives you a little introduction to the experience, and then delivers you at the spot, which may or may not be as fulfilling as you thought it was going to be, but that's kind of typical for marketing, you know. But understand this, it's like you can have it your way at wherever that is that you get to have it your way. Is that Burger King? But you can't go in and order a pizza, right? You're only going to get so much. But the point of marketing is to take you on that journey. The point of the message is to introduce the other person to the journey. It's giving them enough information that they're ready to take the trip. Reason why that's important, and I want to talk about it today, is because I have been mapping out a customer experience here. That's what I've been doing. I've got 3 products I'm working on at exactly the same time because those 3 products work together. You say, well, Eric, why don't you put them in a single product? Because it's part of the journey. I want people to experience the journey. They may start with the first one and go, that's not where I wanted to go, and that's okay. Then they're finished, all right. Or they may say, hey, this is exactly where I need to go, and this is exactly what I need to do. And part of this product is about messaging. It contains 3 components. Those 3 components. Now, I got to figure out how am I going to share that message so that people go, I got to check that out. That's my job. I got to figure out how can I do that so that the other person who hears the message says, I got to check this out. That's the purpose of the messaging. The purpose of the messaging is not to talk about me. It's not to talk about, even though no matter how qualified I am or how awesome this is going to be, it's still so that the other person says, that's something that I need. You know, we used to do what we called need-based selling. Need-based selling really for the salesperson was like, I need to sell something, so I really hope you need to buy this. But that wasn't the point of that at all. The real point was that I'm selling you something that satisfies a need that you have. It either solves a problem, it alleviates the pain, or it enhances a pleasure. Those are the things that you sell. So somehow that messaging has to contain what are you going to deliver to the other person. And let me think about this for just a moment. I'm thinking about these 3 products, all right? The 3 products, the purpose of the 3 products are this, and I'll just explain to you what they are, and we'll walk through that process, okay? This is what's going through my head. This is what I'm mapping out on my chart that I use every day. And what I'm mapping out here is really simple. It's this. I want to teach people how to grow their audience. You need to grow an audience. Everybody needs to grow an audience. If you've got a product, it used to be that the secret to great retail sales was location, location, location. Okay, that was the secret to that. Today it's traffic, traffic, traffic. How do I get people to see the offer? And that's your audience. The audience is your traffic. Do those people visit you every day? Do those people see the things that you post and promote, and what do they see? And what are you communicating to them? So I've got 2 products that go together. One of them I'm calling the value pyramid. And that is a step-by-step. It kind of includes this messaging thing. It includes some of who you are. It includes the foundation for that. There's a lot of really cool things there. Product's not number 1. Some of the most successful companies on the planet didn't start with the product. They started with a purpose. I'll give you an example. Mary Kay Ash did not, hey, I got this amazing makeup and I'm gonna create a company to sell this amazing makeup. It was exactly the other way around. I see a need for women to become independent business owners, and so she created a business model for that and then went and found a product. That's what the value pyramid is all about. So we teach you how to do that in the value pyramid. But you have to have that in front of an audience. And so we start with the audience. Another offer is that value pyramid. And then finally, how do you do Facebook Live so that people will watch? And how do you get them to watch? And where do you get the content for that? And can I use it if I have an HVAC company? Can I use Facebook Live to help me build my HVAC company? If I do, how do I do that? And how do I do it in a way that makes sense? And what do I not do? If I have a daycare, what do I not do? If I have a restaurant, how do I use Facebook Live to do that? So all of those things are included in that 3rd product, because you've got to have some way to get that audience to grow. So those are the 3 things that are part of that. Now, I've got to come up with a message, and that would be my focus for the weekend. I've got to come up with a message that causes that person to go, that's something that I need. That's something that my business would benefit from. That's something that I should spend a little money to learn how to do, and then put that into practice so that I get the results that I need. So I have to make sure that it shows value to the other person, and it also shows results to them. Remember yesterday I helped shop owners. Key factor, I've identified my market, I've identified who I am, and I've connected those two things. I help shop owners reduce their time from first coat to delivery by a day and a half. That's huge. But we don't stop there, give them results. So they can get 3.5 weeks back over the course of a year, or whatever that figures out to be for them in their case. Maybe that's another job. Maybe that's a week at the beach. Whatever it is, it has a result, has a value that you can place on it. So your message applies to what you do. It also applies to what you sell. And I'm taking this product and I'm going to walk through the steps with that so that I can create this customer experience. It's kind of like going to the world's largest bubbler and the world's shortest river. The river, by the way, is 63 feet long, which is kind of cool. You don't really even realize that you're on it. When you're standing there, you feel like you can almost reach across 63 feet. Marketing. It's the journey for the customer that causes them, captures their attention. First part of any sales process, you got to capture the person's attention. You got to take them through this trip that gets them to where you want them to go. Hey, come visit the world's largest freshwater spring and the world's shortest river. Cool, let's go. And the closer that we get, the more excited that we become. All right? That's the whole purpose of marketing. Catch your attention, lead them to a result. Keep it short, keep it brief, make it powerful. It took me months and months to create the one for the insurance industry. The insurance heads laughed at me when I came up with it. They use it to this day. All right, that was 15 years ago. Still being used effectively. So, make your message meaningful, make it powerful, and it'll make a difference to you and to the world around you. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday edition of Bucket Talks.